Howdy, 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 and welcome to the virtual off-road racing series Pro 2 Championship here at Bark River. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Hex Valentine, and here watching Racecraft TV for the virtual off-road Pro 2 Championship. Hex, welcome to the commentary box, and how are you feeling about this race? We have a chance for the championship to be clinched here today by Cameron Peterson. Do you think he could do it?
Well, I'm not sure if he can or can't. This is my first time here. Very, very excited to be calling this series. I've always wanted to get more into the off-road series here at Iracing, and I just can't wait to see what these drivers put out. This course looks incredibly fun to drive, and I hope that we get some very high-action racing out of it.
Bark River has been giving us constant high-action racing ever since it's been released, and all the pro truck races that I've called here, all of them have had moments where I go back and rewatch every day because it just makes you go, wow. Such a fun-flowing track, not a lot of stop and go in areas. It just flows all over the place, and yeah,
Makes me wish I was down there.
It's the top four. Currently, it's Cameron Peterson, championship, potential championship clincher here today. And he's going to be very happy if he can do it this early on in the championship. And he's pretty much swept the championship so far as it's been. Let me just read his results. First, and first.
I'm sorry, were you reading his results or stuttering?
Yes. Pretty much the same. Cameron Peterson, just one of the most dominant figures in all of iRacing short course scene. Keaton Swain jumps up in there into fourth place. Josh Edmondson, his championship rival, sitting in third, with Connor Berry sitting in second place, just 4/10 behind Cameron.
I wonder if you'll be able to make up that lost time.
Hey, you got a lot of time to do it in this 10-minute qualifying session. Brought to you by Sparco, Lawrence Equipment, and your voice of off-road dirt sports world. Thank you all of our sponsors for their beautiful support and offering up all the funding needed for this broadcast, the championship, and the championship prizes. I guarantee the teams are also putting in some work for their drivers as well as, Connor. Well, it looks like he was already stopping his session right there, but that's one way to end it with a wall hit.
Oh, yeah. Heavy impact.
Luke Knupp, also known as Nuppy by some of the drivers, coming across the line, picks up some damage right there, and he's going to go and reset that. Keaton Swain in that 21, very striking car. You don't see a lot of cars like this.
No, you really don't, but it's a very nice design he's got going on there.
Yeah, it's got like a 60s IndyCar vibe with that lightning. Little Al Unser tribute. Connor Parise, usually driving a rallycross here, but, Jim Beaver brought him on and said, we'd like you to also try your hand at this. And, hey, for somebody not really experienced in this, sitting 6th place right now as Josh Edmondson takes provisional pole from Cameron Peterson. Cameron Peterson just got the news that his teammate and championship rival just got ahead of him, so let's stay on board. Let's stay following Cameron Peterson as we head into the drone camera. And Cameron Peterson's #1 fan, Connie Eggleton, is watching right now. Shout out to Connie. And Cameron is going to be thankful of your support in this qualifying.
It's almost mesmerizing just how well these drivers are taking the track and mastering these jumps and just those hard to hit turns.
Yeah, he takes that berm section just pretty wide. As Karen Mageshik has let us know that that is the Jack Flannery lightning bolt on Keaton Swain's car.
Oh, nice.
Man, I can't find anything wrong to say about this lap from Cameron Peterson. It is looking really good. He's fallen down to third, a little bit of a misstep in that final sector. Connor Berry up into second place. Peterson sitting in third place. Across the line, does he get it back? Peterson goes into second place by a tenth. He missed it by a tenth. Wow. And also driver, the SCT Esports driver, Rallycross driver, making his debut, Jacob Rafos, currently sitting in sixth place. After a good lap from him. Top five, all within half a second of Josh Edmondson. But the top three, all within 3/10 of each other.
Man, that battle for the top three is going to be very, very close. And I'm going to expect a lot of door banging as they race around the track because they all have, like you said, only tenths splitting them.
Cameron Peterson will be starting up on the front row with Luke Knupp starting right beside him. The newcomers, Jacob Rafos in third place of the young Norwegian, trying to make a good debut for him, try to get into the finale, followed by Connor Paris, Chris Plumley, Andrew Keepers, Mikey Lords, and Nick Nowak as joins throughout the rest of the field right there in this 8-car stint. Remember, top 6 advance as they head into the finale. Last chance qualifiers, top 4 advance. So pretty much, if you're in this race right now, you will be making it into the finale. It's just where you will be placing. Think of it as a better system to F1 sprint qualifying system. Yeah, I'm throwing shade. As they get going, Cameron Peterson leading them out. And remember, Cameron Peterson, if he wins today, that finale, he will be crowned the Virtual Off-Road Racing Series Pro 2 champion. 2-time Pro 2 champion. As we're getting ready to roll. Pace truck is in. And they're all in the hands of Cameron Peterson. It looks like Nick Nowak is not taking the grid, so it's a 7-car grid here at heat number 2. And it's green. Immediately Luke Knupp defending onto the inside. 17, big contact right there. The 17 of, well, actually, no, that's a custom number right there. The 13 of Jacob Rafos defending hard. Oh, Luke Knupp over-rotates it through that final sector. Jacob Rafos taking a good advantage right there, but Luke Knupp, very good save, and that's Connor Paris in that 11 with a very disruptive start.
Man, that was very, like you said, a very disruptive start, but I'm glad that they were able to hang on to it. And we're seeing just Patterson just get away from it, just a 1-second gap behind him and Knupp.
Yeah, Cameron Peterson, the only one who didn't have something go wrong on that start. Like, pretty much all of his races just been perfect. And now Luke Knupp and Jacob Rafos in the battling for P2. And Luke Knupp and his famous internet connection blinking in and out sometimes. As Jacob, the newcomer, the SCT Esports Rallycross champion, trying to make a good debut for himself. I was in a practice with him earlier, and he was on fire. And this kid is the real deal.
Yeah, he's definitely proven it out here today, and just the way that these drivers have been pushing it. Unfortunately, I don't think that gap is going to get any smaller here, unless Knupp can really find it with 4 to go, as they cross it into 3.
Yeah, Knupp's actually making a bit of ground on Cameron Peterson. That last lap, Cameron Peterson did a 1:18.2. Luke Knupp did a 1:19.49. And everybody else is over the 120. So Cameron Peterson and Luke Knupp are in a world of their own right now, as they are racing it on and trying to get a good, a good result for the finale. But a little bit of an advantage is falling away and going into Luke Knupp's court, as he is gaining on Cameron Peterson.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be able to close this gap out here, as we just see Peterson riding that inside curve as he goes around, and Knupp doing the same as he follows right behind him. And some blinking as well by the 48.
Mikey Lawrence sitting in 7th place of Lawrence Equipment. Off the pace just a little bit, but I believe he had a very unfortunate incident as he goes a bit wide, trying to chase down Andrew Keepers and that transfer spot of 6th place, who is in a battle with Christopher Plumley.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened. I don't think I was able to catch quite what happened to him to knock him out of this race, but that's unfortunate.
He's still in this race. If he doesn't make it into the top 6, he will be going to the last chance qualifiers, and we will be seeing him in the finale, as only 4 will be going to the last chance qualifier. But Nick Nowak being out, that means there's only 3 cars in the last chance qualifier, so everybody goes in is just setting everyone up for our finale.
And it's going to be one hell of a finale as they make their way past this huge jump here into the to the S turn. Excuse me.
Last lap, Cameron Peterson, new fast lap of the race, 1:14.41. 4/10 faster than Luke Knupp. And then it's a 15.1. So 6/10 faster than 3rd place of Jacob Voss. But what a debut that Jacob is having.
Don't think you could have wished for a better debut than the one he's putting on right now.
Yeah, from Kivensdale, Norwegia, or Norway, not Norwegia. I know geography, I swear. Norway, the Norwegian. There, that's what I was trying to say. I've been out of the booth for a while. But Jacob Voss.
Yeah, as have I.
Hey, you haven't made a mistake. You're fine. Jacob with a very good debut, sitting in 3rd currently. White flag is in the air.
And let's hope he keeps it clean and consistent. No commentator's curse here tonight.
We got a battle for 5th place between Chris Plumley and Andrew Keepers, and at 36 and 99. Plumley staying to that apex. Keepers goes a bit wide. Plumley using all the track right there, riding on that berm, as Cameron Peterson, the one, the only Cameron Peterson, is closing in on that final sector. A few more turns to go, and then he will be locking himself into another finale.
Just one hell of a debut.
One hell of a heat for Cameron Peterson. Luke Knupp in 2nd place, and then Jacob Voss with a one crazy debut, finishing in 3rd in his heat race, and that will get him around 6th place, starting in the top 6 for the finale. As everybody is getting ready for this race, they're heading into the warm-up time. 5-minute warm-up now here at Bark River. So after these 2 heat races, we get ready for our last. Actually, no, I think we skipped the last chance qualifier. I believe they just skipped the last chance qualifier.
I believe they did.
So as we get ready for the finale in this warm-up, Hex, anyone who's standing out of the crowd and has a outside shot to win this or make a big surprise?
I don't think we're going to see an underdog story here. I mean, the top 3 drivers from each heat were nailing it consistently. They'd have to like majorly mess it up here if we're gonna get an underdog story. Those drivers at the front of the line and the front of the pack were just way too consistent.
It is looking a bit way too consistent, but it honestly has a little bit of chance for that true underdog story. We saw it happen with Keaton Swain making a amazing start. He was in that front row, but he was able to play that start game and just really get it right. And hey, that's somebody we really look forward to and have a big just big ups on the guy.
Big ups indeed.
Other drivers of that caliber are Jacob Rafos. It is his debut, but that he might be able to steal a 3rd place, or are we going to be seeing a Jim Beaver Esports 1, 2, 3? Outside of Cameron Peterson, Josh Edmondson, all the other Jim Beaver Esports drivers been a little bit shaky. Luke Kinnup was able to keep 2nd place behind Cameron Peterson, but Connor Berry had a very rough first race.
Yeah, he did.
I also want to thank all of our viewers here on Racecraft TV. With your support, it just brings us a lot of happiness that you come here and support us week in and week out and enjoy the show that all these drivers here at the Virtual Off-Road Pro 2 Championship put on for y'all, and your support and to us and the drivers. Well, it just makes us really happy. Also want to thank our sponsors over at Sparco, Lawrence Equipment, and Dirt Sports World, your voice for off-road. You're here watching Racecraft TV for the Virtual Off-Road Racing Series. As I say, it's finale time. All right. It is time for our feature, and let's bring up the grid. Josh Edmondson qualified on pole position, just ahead of Cameron Peterson. Keaton Swain lines up in 3rd place in that 2nd row, followed by Luke Kinnup. Connor Berry in 5th, followed by Jacob Rafos, Zachary Japkin, and Connor Parise in 8th place, followed by Felix Roy, Chris Plumley, Cole Ashlock, and Andrew Keepers in 11th and 12th. Our final 4 spots are Greg Johnson, Mikey Lawrence, Bryce Semino in 15th place, and Nick Nowak, who I do not believe is on the grid here today, but that is where he will be starting if he is in the session. Everyone's all set and ready. The championship can't be clinched here if Cameron Peterson beats out Josh Edmondson and wins. It's the finale. And remember, we got that competition caution on lap 6.
Yeah, so like even if Peterson can't break away in the first 6 laps, he will still have another chance to take it all away from everybody here in the field. And I expect him to at least be battling as hard as he can for that first spot. And I know he wants to end it all here and lock out this championship, but Edmondson was doing so great that first run that it's going to be a very, very close race for these 12 laps as the pace truck goes in.
Pace truck is in. Jim Beaver Esports 1 and 2. Green flag is in Josh Edmondson's hands. And we are green, green, green. Josh Edmondson gets onto the throttle. Keaton Swain immediately looking it out to the inside of Cameron Peterson, trying to get a nose in there. We got one Jim Beaver Esport car being turned around by Zachary Drapkin. That's not the Zach attack that we're used to. Luke Kinnup looking on to the inside of Keaton Swain, but Swain holding around to the outside Cameron Peterson, and we got a big contact right there. Felix Roy is off into the wall, and that's a big gaggle of cars.
And unfortunate to see a driver like that. And there's still door banging here as we go over the cross finish line jump. But that's just unfortunate to see somebody spin like that. Not much you can really do. There's only so much dirt that you can move around in. at a good optimal line around this track.
Yeah, look at Connor Paris's car. Very binged up right there as they're 3 wide over the jump. Rafos and Paris, these two know each other from Rallycross, but they're showing it truck style on Zach Drapkin, who's looking up to the inside, setting up down low, but Paris holding it around the outside in that number 11, trying to follow his rival on that 13. That's a Norwegian driver in his debut, currently sitting in 5th place.
Man, just the drive these just the way that these drivers are putting their trucks through this track, it's gonna be a very, very heavily contested race here.
And heavily contested it is. Josh Edmondson and Cameron Peterson, the fight for the championship to keep alive is still on. We were talking with Josh saying he's going to try to do everything he can to keep Cameron Peterson behind him and keep this championship alive, even though if he wins this race, Cameron Peterson wins the championship. So it's pretty much a do or die situation right there. As right behind him, the fight for third, Luke Knupp and Keaton Swain are battling side by side and nose to tail with each other.
I'm sure he'll be able to put on a hell of a show for the both of us up here in the booth and for everybody watching as they try to keep this championship alive. I mean, we're only 1 lap down, a little too early to call it, but we'll see what happens as we get deeper into this race.
What a move by Knupp. Went up onto the inside. Keaton Swain gave a room, trying to go for the switchback around there, but Luke Knupp able to make that move happen. And Knupp back into 3rd place and back onto the podium. And try chase, and oh, Keaton Swain goes onto 2 wheels and into the K-rail barrier right there onto the inside. Gets back on track and gets down into 5th place behind the young Norwegian driver of Jacob Rafos.
Unfortunate to see him go on 2 wheels like that, but luckily he's still in the race, but I don't think he'll be able to chase back up there.
Here is the replay of Keaton Swain. Just hits that barrier, goes all the way onto 2 wheels, locks it up. Unfortunately, hits that camera. He might have suspension damage from there. Let's get back to racing here at Bark River. Battle for first continues on as we ride on board of Cameron Peterson, chasing down Josh Edmondson. Name a time where we didn't say that. Last round, Edmondson led the entirety of the race at Crandon, and then Cameron Peterson in the final lap did exactly what Josh did in the opening season to him again in that last chance hairpin move. Sent it up the inside, showed him the bumper, and gave him a little bit of a bump and run. And Cameron Peterson made a mistake, stalled out, drift mid-corner, and wasn't able to keep the momentum. And he's fallen away from Josh Edmondson as he pulls a 1.5 second gap to P2.
Yeah, Peterson's going to have to start praying for Edmondson to make a mistake here, because that gap, as soon as he hits that 1 second mark, it's almost impossible to reach him back. The man's just been driving flawlessly around here today.
3 of the best off-road pro truck short course drivers in the world. 1, 2, and 3 right here. Edmondson, Peterson, and Knupp. And all of them still have a chance to win due to that competition caution on lap 6. And look who is in 4th. Young Jacob Rafos. On his debut in the series. Already up 2 spots in this race. And he's making it look good. And look behind him. What is going on there? Drapkin, Paris, and Plumley getting all wild and out.
Yeah, they're having a hell of a battle back here as they're able to keep it closer than our top 3 racers as they continue to battle here for, I believe, 6th position. Sorry, my internet's falling apart here.
It is 6. So you are right. Yeah, Drapkin leading out Connor Paris and Chris Plumley. All of them taking different lines through there as they go over the start-finish line. And I believe our drone operator has caught up to them. So let's go on board of our Racecraft TV drone cam.
And whoever's flying these drones should think about getting into one of these trucks that might have a career in it.
I wouldn't say that much, as I'm rubbish with a wheel. As Chris Plumley almost hitting the drone right there. Connor Parise right, still trying to catch up to Zach Drapkin right up ahead as they go underneath the gantry once more. The gantry is that restart line that we will use, but it's not the finish line. There's the gantry. That turn is so long. You're pretty much turning left for 270 degrees from the exit of that whoop section. And the radius tightens, and then it lightens up, then it tightens again. Zach Drapkin gets into the back of Rafos, and now Rafos falls down. Drapkin getting into the back of another car as Parise is falling to Drapkin. He's trying to hold around to the outside, gets into that wet dirt out of the blue groove right here as there is the competition caution. Drapkin, very opportunistic, gets that place there, but we are underneath that caution right here, and opportunistic Zach Drapkin made it up into 5th place. Do you think he will have to get that position back, or was that fair? It was right at before the line.
I mean, it's a little too close to call, but in all honesty, I think he earned that position. Very patient and waited for the moment to make a move, and these two drivers just got into it, and he was able to move up 2 spots. I don't think he should give it back.
All right, and most of these drivers know when a move is a move. So Zach Drapkin is looking like he's holding position. All these drivers very respectful to each other. And now is Josh Edmondson holding grid right now as they're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Field once again bunched up and looking back at Cameron Peterson in a spot where we usually aren't used to seeing him in 2nd place as Josh Edmondson ready to get this field back to green flag racing. They're on his call. And it's green, green, green!
A bit more organized and cleaner as they take this turn. I don't see anybody spinning out here. As they hit the top of the curb here and are able to keep pushing. As Peterson's still trying to chase down Edmondson to try to close out this championship, but Edmondson has yet to make a mistake with only 6 to go as we're halfway through it here.
And Luke Knupp showing the nose on Cameron Peterson right now. Peterson, this is the person that you do not want to have behind you. Aggressive Luke Knupp as Peterson goes wide in that long left-hander, allowing Knupp to get onto the inside. But Peterson able to hold out the speed right there, heading to those 2 jumps. But Luke Knupp is getting into Peterson's head as Edmondson's pulling away from him. And Keaton Swain goes a bit wide, just cakes that K-rail right there. That's going to be a lot of damage. Knupp getting a little bit offset over the whoops. Peterson still in 2nd place, 8/10 behind Edmondson. And charging Luke Knupp really wants to make a name right here and get onto that 2nd place, as it's been Cameron Peterson and Josh Edmondson 1-2 so many times. He wants to throw his name into the hat.
Well, he's definitely going to be able to if he keeps it up and keeps pushing that line and able to make the moves. We'll see if Peterson goes wide again here.
Not keeps it on the edge and keeps it down to the inside. These Pro 2 trucks only rear-wheel drive, unlike the Pro 4 trucks on the other series that we cover here on Racecraft TV on the Iracing short course. They use the Pro 4. We use the Pro 2s. Pro 2s, quote, harder to drive, more rewarding. And let me tell you, rear-wheel drive in dirt is incredibly rewarding if you get it right.
Yeah, that they are.
Another battle throughout the field. Zach Drapkin and Jacob Foss in that fight for 6th place. They're all so close to each other. Their relative is still showing the battle for 3rd on the header. See the different lines that everyone's taking to set this up. Getting all up into that berm. Rafas, Jacob, all over the place. See Connor Parise actually getting up onto the berm and using a different line in a slower setup, but a much more rewarding exit. That's what the magic of Bark River is. Even if the track map looks a bit phallic.
Yeah, it does. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to get TOS'd.
Ah, you're all right. And Andrew Keepers and Chris Plumley having a bit of a fight. Keepers, well, he might need to be keeping a few spare parts as he's missing the entire front hood as Drapkin and Rafas switched up the spots. Drapkin looked out to the inside and made up that move on Rafas. Drapkin up into 6th place.
Yeah, I wonder where his hood went.
It might have gone where a few people's bumpers are right now. And Rafas looking out to the inside of Drapkin, unable to have it as Plumley goes down to the inside of Keepers, and he's going to keep that position for himself. Plumley into 8th.
Yeah, these middle of the field drivers are having a hell of a battle, and it's very, very great stuff here tonight.
Fantastic driving by everybody here in the iRace, in the virtual off-road racing series. So we're right on board of Jacob Rafas. Get to see how much tilt is in the truck. Oh, Drapkin cases the wall right there. That's going to be hurting his entry with 3 laps to go. And Drapkin's around. Drapkin was around. Rafas snuck it down in there. Helped Drapkin out by giving it a little bit of tap. But Jacob Rafas back into 6th place.
Yeah, Rafas just almost gets all of almost gets all of him as he was coming over the jump, but just barely gets by him. Glad that Jacob didn't get collected there too. Yes, he just gives him a little hood-to-hood contact, turns him right back around, says, "Here you go, pal. Get back on track."
Nah, stay behind me, please. And, well, Zach's doing everything, but except for that last request. As he is, well, he's currently behind him, but he's not behind him. He's all up behind him. 2 laps to go here at Bark River. Going wide is Rafas. The SCT Esports Driver does not want to do that. And Drapkin showed in the bumper. Drapkin back up into 6th place.
And Rafas making contact with him as they come back in off the exit of that turn. And I think Jakob might be a little frustrated here as we can see him pushing a little bit more aggressively to get his spot back from Drapkin.
Oh, let's make a little bit of contact. And Rafas got Drapkin out wide. He shows him the bumper in the 36, and Chris Plumley gets into the side of these two, trying to yeet it up the inside. But it's not going to go for Chris Plumley as Keepers gets back into 8th place. As Jacob Rafas and Zach Drapkin are changing blows turn for turn, lap for lap here at Bark River. They can fight forever, it seems, but it's only got 1 more lap to go between these two. White flag this time by.
We'll see if Jakob can keep back Drapkin as he's trying to hold on desperately to the 6th spot as they are just getting really aggressive with each other, banging each other's doors and almost pushing one another off the track here.
Yeah, Drapkin, after that wide line that Rafas has been using. He uses it again, but it comes across. He tightened up. Rafas tightened up and he spun out. Oh no! He stalled out mid-turn, came across the track right into the line, got up into that wet dirt, gripped up right there, and bam! Drapkin gets in there, and Rafas went around, and that is a unfortunate end to a dominant performance at the start. White flag is in the air. Cameron Peterson in second place. Josh Edmondson in the lead. The championship races on here in the Virtual Off-Road Pro 2 Championship as Josh Edmondson ends the streak of Cameron Peterson as he takes the win here at Bark River.
And yeah, that was just an unfortunate racing accident that we had back there. Unfortunate to see Jakob drop all the way from 6th to 10th. But it is what it is out here with these dirt racing. It's extremely unpredictable.
Let's take a look at our race results. Josh Edmondson of Jim Beaver Esports takes his first win of the season for the Virtual Off-Road Racing Series Pro 2 Championship here at Bark River, followed by Cameron Peterson, who unfortunately did not clinch the championship today and will be going on for another round. Luke Knupp finishing in third, followed by Keaton Swain, Connor Parise, Zach Drapkin, who was in that amazing fight for 6th place, with unfortunate results to Jacob Rafas. Andrew Keepers finishes down in 7th, followed by Chris Plumley. Jacob Rafas in 9th, followed by Mikey Lawrence, Greg Johnson, Bryce Semino, Cole Ashlock, Connor Barely, Felix Roy, and Nick Nowak, who did not take the start.